welcome to our community church, Unitarian Universalist. I am your minister, Reverend Darcy Roque, and it is a joy to be with you virtually today on this Valentine's Day, on this Sunday before Mardi Gras Day, on this church Sunday. It is lovely to have you here with us. So who are we as community church? We are a progressive, open-minded, and inclusive religious community. We welcome all who are on a spiritual search for truth and meaning. Ours is a faith in action as we do the work of social justice and elevate compassion in our quest to live ethically, recognizing the inherent worth and dignity of every being. So as you know, at the beginning of each service, a few minutes before, we have our weekly announcements. So please check them out because there's a lot that is going on right now. You can also subscribe to our weekly newsletter. Our wonderful virtual greeter, Marilyn Malone, has a link for you to sign up in our Zoom chat box for our weekly emails that come on Thursday or Friday of each week. You can also go to our website at www.ccuunola.org to sign up. In terms of any pressing emails, so I don't know what y'all are doing on Tuesday. I know it will be very different than past Mardi Gras, and I really hope you're going to be safe. I know you will. And we'll talk about some things that are going to bring us joy. And as you all know, we often partner with the amazing all-youth Mardi Gras Indian tribe, the Red Flame Hunters. So you are invited to the Yardi Gras Red Flame Hunters. So at 12 p.m., 3 p.m., and 5 p.m., at 1823 Elysian Fields Avenue, there will be a socially masked and socially distanced Red Flame Hunters gathering. So it will be safe, socially distanced, and of course, our wonderful friend Ed Buckner is putting that together. It's also in our announcements, and there's also in our announcements a way that you can donate to their incredible work, which has continued on this Mardi Gras season. And so with that, there's so much else going on as well. So I'd like to invite Bruce Blankarn to come forward to tell us another thing that is happening in February, which is our endowment month. And it is such a joy to have you here, Bruce.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you for letting me visit with the folks here at Community Church. I'd like to bring you some good tidings from outside our walls, as they like to say. As part of the endowment committee, we were able to donate to Second Harvest Food Bank for 2021. Particularly 2020 was a very difficult year for Second Harvest. They sent a nice thank you note to us, and in that thank you note, they described the fact that our donation was able to help feed some 50,000 meals. So thanks to Community Church. And going forward, we would like to continue that effort, especially since we're still in the midst of our pandemic. We're still recovering from hurricanes. And of course, we've got the unemployment issues and other family crisis people face. And of course, Second Harvest is involved in that. And if you want to volunteer, it's a great place to work and volunteer. So with that, I will turn the program back over to Reverend Darcy.
Thank you so much, Bruce. That is so appreciated. And thank you for your incredible work that you and the entire endowment ministry are doing for our church. It means a great deal because, of course, as we know, the work continues both inside and outside these four walls. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you all for being here today on this Mardi Gras Sunday. And with that, we are going to light our chalice and move into time for all ages and music. So please join us, won't you, as we begin our service in earnest with our chalice lighting.
We light this flame to affirm the light of truth and knowledge, the warmth of love and community, and the fire of hope and commitment.
Hello, everybody. Happy Mardi Gras, happy COVID Mardi Gras. You can see I'm all ready to go. I got my sparkly vest on, I got my beads, I got my hat, got my face all done. So this is this is a COVID Mardi Gras, and I don't want y'all to be sad that we can't do things that we normally do. And as you can see, you can go out and do Mardi Gras, house floats. Even though it's trying to rain on my parade, I'm not going to let it do it. I got my Crew de Vue life preserver to help me through. I got my, you got to see these are good. I got my Mardi Gras shoe. Now don't be jealous now, people. I have everything I need, and I am on my own little house float here. I have put up my porch as being my Mardi Gras float, and hopefully people will throw things for me from that bridge. So this is a little different. I just want y'all to think of things that you can do, and if there's always things we have all the floats in the park. It's going to be fun. Floats in the Oaks. And I just want to take some time too, to be with the people who are suffering with COVID in our congregation, and people we may know that's, is doing that, is being, affected by this. We're all being affected by it. But, we still have to go on and make sure we're strong for everybody, and it's okay. It's okay to celebrate. And just to try to keep things as normal as possible. And that's what I want to do today, is just try to say, just let the good times roll, because that's what it is in New Orleans, and we just got to go with the flow, this nice rainy day that I had to do this for. And then, not only that, it's going to be freezing on Mardi Gras Day. So that's even better, right? Yay! So anyways, just have a good time, and I just want y'all to think about each other and make something, in your life, like for me doing my house, you can see behind me, and just trying to make things, special, for these, as we call them, the high holy days in New Orleans, and just, just enjoy it, and just try the best you can. And I see people with their masks on. The Crew de Vue has their own masks now, and it's changed, but it's fun. The creativity is the most important thing that you can do right now, and to make yourself just breathe, and let. This is the time of year where everything is changing, and today is actually the year of the ox, which that beast of burden. We're going to follow through. We're going to get through this. It's going to be better. The hard work will pay off, this type of thing. So I think we've been working really hard this past year and still going into 2021. But I think we're going to be good. So just like that beast of burden, we're going to keep going and partying on. And just let that good times roll, and don't let anybody rain on your parade. No matter how they try, even that cold weather is not going to get us. So just hang in there. And I love y'all, and just have a good time, and just hang in there. And I'll see you soon, and happy Mardi Gras, and don't eat too much king cake, and just hug each other and love on each other. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Mark.
And I'm Megan, and this is Hopscotch.
And we want to thank everybody at CCUU for having us. We want to wish you a safe and happy Mardi Gras, and we hope to see you live soon. But for right now, we're going to play some Mardi Gras music for you. This is one of my favorites, all-time favorites, by the late, great Professor Longhair, and it's called Go to the Mardi Gras. Somebody will tell you what carnival's for. Somebody will show you the Zulu King. You will see the Zulu King down on St. Claude and Domain. You will see the Zulu King down on St. Claude and Domain. And if you stand right there, I'm sure you'll see that Zulu Queen. Happy Mardi Gras, y'all.
Our first reading today is from Chris Rose, an excerpt from Post-Katrina Stories. To encapsulate the notion of Mardi Gras as nothing more than a big drunk is to take the simple and stupid way out of it. And I, for one, am getting tired of staying stuck on simple and stupid. Mardi Gras is not a parade. Mardi Gras is not girls flashing on French Quarter balconies. Mardi Gras is not an alcoholic binge. Mardi Gras is bars and restaurants changing out all the CDs in their jukebox to Professor Longhair and the Neville Brothers. And it is annual front porch crawfish boils hours before the parades, so your stomach and attitudes reach a state of grace. And it is returning to the same street corner, year after year, and standing next to the same people, year after year. People whose names you may or may not even know, but you've watched their kids grow up in this public tableau. And when they're not there, you wonder, where are those guys this year? It is dressing your dog in a stupid costume and cheering when the marching bands go crazy and clapping and saluting the military bands when they crisply snap to. Now that part more than ever. It's mad piano professors converging on our city from all over the world and banging the 88s until dawn and laughing at the hairy-shouldered men in dresses too tight and stalking the Indians under Claiborne overpass and thrilling the years you find them and lamenting the years you don't and promising yourself you will next year. It's wearing frightful color combinations in public and rolling your eyes at the guy in your office who, like clockwork, year after year denies that he got the baby in the king cake, and now someone else has to pony up $10 for the next one. Mardi Gras is the love of life. It is the harmonic convergence of our food, our music, our creativity, our eccentricity, our neighborhoods, and our joy of living. All at once. As our reading ends, let's listen to some music, shall we? Tutti Ma.
Okay, hey everybody. Hey everybody, I'm Don Vappy. I'm going to play a song for you from Danny Barker called Tutti Ma is a Big Fine Thing. And your part is to sing the response, which is Hootane, swing that thing. Okay? Hootane, swing that thing. Hootane, swing that thing. Some of that popcorn coming back at me. Here we go. Here we go. Two-timers, a big fine thing. Hootane, swing that thing. Two-timers, a big fine thing. Hootane, swing that thing. Two-timers, say shake that thing. Hootane, swing that thing. Two-timers, shake that thing. Hootane, swing that thing. Two-timers, the finest thing you ever saw. She does some things against the law. Took my paw right from my mom. I wanna knock on the door. Two-timers, a big fine thing. Hootane, swing that thing. Wait for me on Mardi Gras Day. Hootane, swing that thing. Now, two-timers, show is fine. Hootane, swing that thing. Two-timers, show is fine. Hootane, swing that thing. Two-timers can drink some wine. Hootane, swing that thing. Two-timers can drink some wine. Hootane, swing that thing. Two-timers went up the ramp looking for some jack new vamp. Police put her right in jail. I want to get out on bail. Two-timers, a big fine thing. Hootane, swing that thing. Two-timers, a big fine thing. Hootane, swing that thing. Two-timers, show is fine. Hootane, swing that thing. Two-timers, show is fine. Hootane, swing that thing. Two-timers can drink some wine. Hootane, swing that thing. Two-timers can drink some wine. Hootane, swing that thing. Two-timers went up the ramp looking for some jack new vamp. Police put her right in jail. I won't get her out on bail. Two-timers, a big fine thing. Hootane, swing that thing. Two-timers, a big fine thing. Hootane, swing that thing. Hootane, swing that thing. Nane, swing that thing. Hootane, swing that thing. Hootane, swing that thing. Yeah. Y'all did all right. You know? Don't you think? They did all right, huh? Yeah? Yeah. Y'all did all right. Thank you very much.
It's telling that both my reflections today take inspiration from song lyrics. In this case, Cole Porter's Can't Take That Away From Me. Because Mardi Gras itself is so infused with visual art and music and dance that it can be hard to put into sermon words what such a celebration means. It is the first notes of a brass band, glitter strewn on the pavement, sewing until dawn for a suit that will be worn once. It is freedom and a bit of the spiritual. It is a transitory moment that infuses itself into our bodily memories for a lifetime to come. So a very practical friend once told me of a mystical experience he had during the first Mardi Gras after Hurricane Katrina. He wasn't sure what the day would bring. Some national pundits said that the day should be canceled altogether, an idea roundly rejected by the still grieving folks in New Orleans. So he rose early on that Tuesday morning to wander the city. A few steps into his journey, he heard chanting. Then suddenly, through the early morning fog, emerged giant skeletons, booming drums, and ecstatic revelers. The North Side Skull and Bones gang, who had been waking up folks in the Treme for over 200 years, were out, reminding people of their mortality and their very aliveness. It was then that a part of himself, dormant in the months after the hurricane, cracked open. It woke up, woken by the rituals of a day that would not die, even as there had been so much death surrounding him just months before. Joy came to him that Mardi Gras morning. Now, for some, the irony of this Reflections theme song, can't take that away from me, might be that much of what we consider Mardi Gras, the go drinks, huge parades, and wild abandon of bodies pushed together in music, celebration, and lycra, will be muted this year. But we know that joy will come on that Tuesday morning. It will look different. From socially distanced costume porch sits to house float waves to masked throws like this one. Nesting in Place 2021. But Mardi Gras in New Orleans can't take that away from me. Because as writer Chris Rose noted, reflecting on this holiday after his own trauma surviving Hurricane Katrina, Mardi Gras is the love of life. It is the harmonic convergence of our food, our music, our creativity, our eccentricity, our neighbors, and our joy of living. Joy, like sorrow, cannot be contained. Even when we contain a virus by staying distant, physically, but not spiritually. And so let us make some room for joy this week, in whatever form it takes. This joy is a gift, perhaps from the Greek and Roman gods that so many parades are named after. It may not be the one that we expected this year, but Mardi Gras is a gift all the same. And you can't take that away from us. Now we come to the part of our service of joys and sorrows, where we consider our week and our week to come and lift up all the joys that are coming into our lives and the lives of our loved ones. New hope emerging in small ways. It's also, of course, a deeply important time to share our sorrows, to know that when we write them in our Zoom chat box, we are sharing them with a community of care and love. And so now, as we listen to If I Ever Cease to Love, you'll have the opportunity to write your joys and sorrows in the Zoom chat box to be read aloud in community.
In a house, in a square, in a quadrant, in a street, in a lane, in a road. Turn to the left, on the right hand, you'll find there my true love's abode. I go there recording and cooing to my love like a dove, and swearing on my bended knees May sheep's heads grow on apple trees if ever I cease to love. If ever I cease to love. If ever I cease to love. May the moon turn into green cream cheese if ever I cease to love. She can sing, she can play the piano, she can jump, she can dance, she can run. In fact, she's as sweet as a rosebud and a lily flower rolled into one. And I adore her beauty. She's like an angel dropped from above. May fish grow legs and cows lay eggs if ever I cease to love. May all dogs wag their tails in front if ever I cease to love. If ever I cease to love. If ever I cease to love. May we all turn into cats and dogs if ever I cease to love. If ever I cease to love. If ever I cease to love. May all the rivers run uphill if ever I cease to love. May the moon turn into green cream cheese if ever I cease to love.
Thank you for your joys and sorrows. I will now read them aloud, and please know next to me is the wonderful Cynthia Ramirez, and we actually also have a memorial table that we will be using after our time for joys and sorrows for a separate memorial service for those who have died of COVID this year. But first, let us go to our sacred moment of joys and sorrows. Alan Malone writes, "Happy Valentine's Day." Yes, happy Valentine's Day to all of you. Liz Trotter wants us to mention briefly, too, that the Red Flame Hunters you can watch in the comfort of your own home via Instagram at red.flamehunters7. I wanted to say that because that is a joy indeed. Dion DeVille is tuning in from the road, working. She will miss us all at coffee hour today and hopes we have a lovely holiday Sunday. Sending our love to you on the road, Dion. Alan Malone wrote, "Don't forget the Catholics. They're the ones who invented Mardi Gras." John Davenport thanks us for the best church music. Marianne Godshall would like to light a candle for the favorite caretaker at my special need nephew's home died this week of COVID. It has been very traumatic and sad for the residents who can barely understand their loss. We light a candle. Ellen Malone writes that Marilyn and I both have our injections now and will celebrate our immunity on Thursday, the 25th of February. Congratulations, and congratulations to all who have received the vaccine and all who are seeing the light coming towards at the end of the tunnel towards receiving their vaccine as well. Liz Trotter mentions, please send healing vibes to my son David, who is battling COVID. A candle for all those, for David, and for all those who are currently battling COVID. Jada writes that she is dealing with a lot of depression and anxiety. We light a candle of love and care for you, Jada, and for all those who are holding depression and anxiety. Please know that we love you, and please know that you can reach out anytime to caring@ccuunola.org, or you can reach me at 347-218-0285 or minister@ccuunola.org. We are here for you, and we love you. Michael Roque writes, thanks, Rev Darcy, for lifting us up through the readings, music, and creation of a great atmosphere. It is such a joyful, exultant, and beautiful service. Look so forward to seeing our loved ones in NOLA once the snow lifts here in New Mexico. Wonderful service. Looking forward to that as well. Jim O'Neill writes of joy that the house floats express the joy and creativity that the pandemic cannot destroy. Amen to that. We light a candle. Will Hunn writes he's happy that he received his first Moderna shot this past Monday. I'm looking forward to getting the second in a few weeks. Congratulations, Will. Marilyn Malone writes, I went to the floats in the Oaks and it was fantastic. Another way that our creativity is coming through this Mardi Gras season. Howard Milkey writes, my granddaughter celebrated her 4th birthday and I am a happy grandfather, just turned 80. Lighting a candle indeed. Would like to travel to Seattle and look forward to that chance. We do as well. Love to all on this Valentine's Day and happy Mardi Gras. Kathy Larimer writes that Elise Picchiotti sends her greetings to all. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Greetings to all of you and sending all of you so much love from our community to you and yours. So we now want to light 2 more candles. One for all the joys that are just coming up, that maybe will express themselves in some small way this week through the creativity and love of Mardi Gras. And of course, the sorrows too, because this year in particular is so very different, and there's been loss and sadness, and at this time, we may not be able to even express our full sorrows. So please know that we hold you and all those unspoken joys and sorrows as well. And with that, we would also like to make space, in particular, to know that we remember those who have died of COVID this year. We're going to have somewhat of a memorial service at this time. It's small, but this is what we can do. So let me tell you first a little story. My son Sebastian's first beads were gifted to him in his first month of life. It wasn't on Mardi Gras. Instead, it was a sweltering September day in New Orleans. I sat dazed and exhausted with a newborn in an over-conditioned bedroom when I heard a trumpet in the distance, some tambourines, and a bit of hollering. Sebastian's ears perked up too. We moved to our porch. A parade of folks were coming down the street, playing music, dancing in tie-dye, and throwing beads. A woman, a mixture of jubilant and fragile, broke away from the parade and came towards us, beads in hand. As she handed us the strand, I noticed a picture etched into the beads. A man in a funny hat with an impish smile. Below his rendering was a date of birth and a date of death, just 2 weeks earlier. Joey was an amazing human being, she said. Never forget that. And then away she danced. We carry those beads as well as the memory of Joey LeBlanc, a man we never met, with us today. There may be a picture coming up that shows you those first beads. And now as we return, I think it's important to tell you that it's important to honor people. It's important to mourn their deaths, and it's important to celebrate their lives. Joey's friends and family showed me that. New Orleans shows me that. And Joey, in his life in New Orleans, helped show people that as well. So when I looked up his obituary, his family wrote of this amazing military veteran, nurse, and perpetual Jazz Fest lover, a lovely and loving man. Joe touched the hearts of all who knew him and many whose paths he crossed. He also will be missed by visitors that were lucky enough to have met a great example of the goodness of this great city. A great example of the goodness of this great city. Around this time last year, unbeknownst to so many of us, COVID was running through our Mardi Gras revelry. Hugs and kisses, singing and dancing, tussling for throws became vectors of disease spread. There is so much to unpack in that reality, emotionally and spiritually. But for now, a year later, I want to take just a moment to honor the lives and mourn the deaths of over 9,000 Louisianans who have died from coronavirus. In this bowl, in front of Cynthia here, are 90 glass Mardi Gras beads, each representing the lives of 100 Louisianans. And as the New York Times noted in their May edition of Memorials for COVID Victims, when the number of deaths in the United States was 100,000, not the near close to 500,000 that it is today. A number is an imperfect measure when applied to the human condition. A number provides and answers to how many, but it can never convey the individual arcs of life, the 100,000 ways of greeting the morning and saying good night. Here are just a few of the names, some brought to us by the New York Times, some from friends and family. Like Reverend William Barnwell, a New Orleans Episcopal priest, a fierce advocate for racial justice, and a friend to so many. Like New Orleans actress Carol Sutton, a local legend of community theater and renowned acting teacher. Like Cornell Charles, a beloved coach and mentor to young children in athletics, a member of Zulu, a club who's lost so many to the virus. Like Marcus Edward Cooper Jr., who loved his wife and said, "Yes, dear," a lot. Like New Orleans culture bearer Ronald W. Lewis, who founded the House of Dance and Feathers Museum and the Big Nine Social Aid and Pleasure Club. Like April Dunn, an advocate for disability rights. Like Oliver Stokes Jr., better known as DJ Black and Mild, a popular bounce DJ. Like Therese Eloi, renowned for her business making detailed pins and corsages. Like Grace Lee Hargrove Cradure, who always made room at the table to feed anyone who showed up. Great examples of the goodness of this great city. These are just 9 of the names and details behind the numbers. There are 9,000 more of these small stories in Louisiana. There are memories too that their family and friends carry. Small and intimate, joys that we will never know, and sorrow too. So now, we light our first candle for over 9,000 people who have died of COVID in Louisiana. We light a second candle for over 480,000 people who have died of COVID in the United States. We light a third candle for over 2.3 million people who have died of COVID around the world. Our memorial is a small one, with a beautiful New Orleans artistry. Thank you to Cynthia for that. And small, just like those intimate sketches of the much broader and beautiful lives cut short. We're going to take this small shrine right after I speak and move it to the front foyer for the next week or so. Should you have something that you would like to add, a memory you would like to lift up or lay down, please email our office to find a time to safely add a piece to our tableau. So now, let us take just 1 minute of silence amidst the joyful noise of our Mardi Gras service to remember. In sorrow and in joy of memory of beautiful lives, we remember.
Good morning. Community Church Unitarian Universalist is a self-sustaining congregation. Members and friends generously help us to do the sacred work of bringing justice, spirituality, and compassion to our community and beyond. You can give online at www.ccunola.org/stewardship/ or by text at 504-370-2659 and text GIVE. You can also send a check to CCUU at 6690 Fleur de Lis Drive, New Orleans, Louisiana, 70124. Check your check box for these ways to give, and we thank you. Now, till we meet again, here is the offertory video. We meet again.
We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again. I don't know where and I don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day.
To the fig tree on 9th and Christian. Tumbling through the city in my mind without once looking up, the racket in the lug work, probably rehearsing some stupid thing I said or did, some crime or other. The city, they say, is a lonely place until, yes, the sound of sweeping and a woman, yes, with a broom beneath which you are now too, the canopy of a fig, its arms pulling the September sun to it. And she has a hose too, and so works hard, rinsing and scrubbing the walk, lest some poor sod slip on the silk of a fig and break his hip, but not probably reach over to gobble up the perpetrator. The light catches the veins in her hands when I ask about the tree. They flutter in the air, and she says, "Take as much as you can, help me." So I load my pockets and mouth, and she points to the stepladder against the wall to mean more, but I was without a sack, so my meager plunder would have to suffice. And an old woman whom gravity was pulling into the earth loosed one from a low-slung branch, and its eye wept like hers, which she dabbed with a kerchief as she cleaved the fig with what remained of her teeth. And soon there were 8 or 9 people gathered beneath the tree, looking into it like a constellation, pointing, "Do you see it?" And I am tall and so good for these things. And a bald man even told me so when I grabbed 3 or 4 for him, reaching into the giddy throngs of yellow jackets, sugar stone, which he only pointed to smiling and rubbing his stomach. I mean, he was really rubbing his stomach, like there was a baby in there. It was hot. His head shone while he offered recipes to the group using words which I couldn't understand. And besides, I was a little tipsy on the dance of the velvety heart rolling in my mouth, pulling me down and down into the oldest countries of my body, where I ate my first fig from the hand of a man who escaped his country by swimming through the night. And maybe never said more than 5 words to me at once, but gave me figs. And a man on his way to work hops twice to reach at last his fig, which he smiles at and calls baby. "Come here, baby," he says, and blows a kiss to the tree, which everyone knows cannot grow this far north, being Mediterranean and favoring the rocky, sun-baked soils of Jordan and Sicily. But no one told the fig tree or the immigrants. There is a way the fig tree grows in groves. It wants, it seems, to hold us. Yes, I'm anthropomorphizing, goddammit. I have twice in the last 30 seconds rubbed my sweaty forearm into someone else's sweaty shoulder, gleeful, eating out of each other's hands on Christian Street in Philadelphia, a city like most, which has murdered its own people. This is true. We are feeding each other from a tree at the corner of Christian and 9th. Strangers, maybe never again.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
So beautiful.
Thank you. Thanks.
We like to think we're pretty special here in New Orleans, and we are. But Ross Gay's beautiful poem evoking folks in Philadelphia coming together around a fig tree can help us New Orleans Unitarian Universalists recognize that we're not so special. And maybe that's not so bad. We're a portion of the interconnected web of which we are all a part. Or perhaps a particularly delightful fig connected by branches to other figs as well. One of many cities, communities, whose daily rituals and lives are broken up occasionally by the sacred. The corner of 9th and Christian from Gay's poem could easily be St. Claude and Dumaine on Mardi Gras Day, where you might see that Zulu king. Or perhaps a subway car in New York City on August 25th, 2001, less than 2 weeks before the horrific events of September 11th, where a man, weary from a long day's work, kept falling asleep on my sister's shoulder. Small, kind giggles emerged around the subway car as my sister finally decided to just let the man sleep on her shoulder. When he awoke, embarrassed, he didn't have the words in English to apologize as he would like. So he handed my sister a carnation, gifted to him by another onlooker in that subway car. And we all, tired and lulled by the subway's rails, laughed together. Brosquet's poem finds that sacred moment, the mundane interrupted by sacred joy. Humans greedily soaking up community and laughter. Why can't we have more of that kind of greed? Perhaps we do in New Orleans, where we find these sacred moments often. So much of this poem reminds me of New Orleans, including "Baby, Come Here, Baby," directed to a particularly delicious fig. And a reminder, too, that this poem is set in Philadelphia, a city like most, which has murdered its own people. We too in New Orleans have done this. From the murder of Black citizens by police on the Danziger Bridge to the daily insults and injuries Black people in our city face, be it from an impassive medical system, a brutal criminal justice system, or inequitable school funding. We shake with joy, we shake with grief. What a time they have, these two housed as they are in the same body, poet Mary Oliver tells us. Delighted by humanity, recognizing reality. That is what it is to be fully human. It is to know both the pleasure and the pain that this world can bring, and to choose joy whenever we can. To share this joy with as many different people as we can. Because once we experience joy and glimpse other people's joy too, how can we not want it for ourselves and others time and time again? The joy too of feeling safe and seen and loved in all places, places where we all, as Gay notes, can be feeding each other. Strangers maybe, never again. We'll Meet Again is our final theme song of the day. It is a poignant British song first popularized during World War II. Equally fitting for this pandemic, Mardi Gras, and our church community. Because we will meet again one day. And my hope is that when we do, we might all see each other a little better, care for each other a little better, so that sacred joy spills out not just in moments on street corners or subway cars or Mardi Gras days, but that one day sacred joy infuses the whole world, where no one, not one person, feels less than beautiful, loved, worthy, and divine. Our benediction today is a reminder again. We shake with joy, we shake with grief. What a time they have, these two, housed as they are in the same body. Amen. Go forth and mask up. You'll now be moving into our coffee hour. We love you, and we will see you next week.
In a house, in a square, in a quadrant, in a street, in a lane, in a road. Turn to the left, on the right hand, you'll find there my true love's abode. I go there a-courtin' and cooing to my love like a dove, and swearing on my bended knees, if ever I cease to love, may sheep's heads grow on apple trees, if ever I cease to love. If ever I cease to love, if ever I cease to love, may the moon turn into green cream cheese, if ever I cease to love. She can sing, she can play the piano, she can jump, she can dance, she can run. In fact, she's as sweet as a rosebud and a lily flower rolled into one. And I adore her beauty, she's like an angel dropped from above. May fish grow legs and cows lay eggs, if ever I cease to love. May all dogs wag their tails in front, if ever I cease to love. If ever I cease to love, if ever I cease to love, may we all turn into cats and dogs, if ever I cease to love. If ever I cease to love, if ever I cease to love,